Feel safe-ish again? Who doesn't love a good directional arrow? That Kate Daly Show starts now.
You must learn to listen when your body whispers. Before sickness shouts, the body always speaks. When you yawn too much, it is not laziness. No, it is your blood crying for iron, the metal of life. When you breathe and still feel no air, what we call air hunger, your body has become too acidic. That is lack of vitamin B1. If your eye twitch beneath the lid or your muscles jump like frightened fish, this is called tetany. It means your body is too alkaline. Add a spoon of apple cider vinegar in warm water. Let the acid bring balance again. When heart beats too strong or blood pressure rise, your body needs potassium or vitamin D. When each symptom is a message, find the root, feed the deficiency, and the body will heal itself. Nature already gave you the answers. You only need to listen. Follow me, student, so that the old wisdom of healing is never forgotten.
All right. We are live. So glad to have you aboard today and good old Chinese wisdom. So welcome to the Kate Daly Show today, and special edition with the great and fabulous Dr. Bryan Ardis. Cannot wait to get his take on things. And let me tell you, you're in for a treat. So you're going to love this. And of course, I do miss those directional arrows. Don't you? Because they're special. And they told me exactly where to stand. And I really do miss that. Anyway, I just wanted to, give you a good old reminder of the kind of brainwashing BS we get in this great land of ours. So welcome, Dr. Bryan Ardis. Welcome. How are you? Oh, whoops. I can't hear you for some reason. Your audio.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy New Year to you and your entire audience. I hope everybody's doing wonderful.
Oh, yeah, me too. I'm so glad to talk with you. And of course, there's so much to catch up on because I know you are a research hound. And this is what I love about you. And this is what I loved about even going back to our first interview like 4 years ago. I was always impressed with your ability to really look under the cover and see what in the hell was going on. So I really appreciate you. And I want to hear what's the latest, but I also want you to give out your website because I think this is super important. People are always going to come after the show and ask me about this. Can you please give out your website?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can find all I do at thedrardisshow.com, TheDrardis show.com. You can find everything there.
Thank you. All right. I feel like we have to spell everything out. Do you remember when they did the ABCs of green light, red light, yellow light, and how we were all told that we had to go, green was for go and red was for stop. And this is how the COVID rules played out. Then the whole nonsense of it all went right before you were coming on. I played a liner about directional arrows, and it's just, the nonsense we've been through. So I'm hoping that anytime that we see when the media and the government are all on singing the same song, that we're at least skeptical at this point because we have the new bat disease. Sorry, the bat disease. The bats are after us, man. We're just
bats out there.
You've noticed, right? How many bats have been coming to get you? So, is it Nipah? What the hell? What's going on with the bat?
It's actually made up, is what it is. So that's exactly what it is. Another one made up. Nipah is what they call it. That's right.
Nipah.
The Nipah virus.
Wasn't Gates mentioning this a while ago? I swear to you, like 4 or 5 years ago, he mentioned this. So anyway.
Yes, he did mention this 5 years ago or so. And then there's 10 current viral pandemics he's announced that are the next approaching global pandemic threats. The only thing in common with all of them is the word virus. So just remember, everybody out there, when you're told that animals are coughing these up, seriously, an animal coughed somewhere and made the whole world sick, and that's the threat. Just remember, Kate, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but there are millions and millions of clips in social media of me showing Latin to English dictionaries dating back to 1771. So just
Wow.
for perspective,
Okay.
everyone is hearing and going to continue to hear the rest of your life that there are threats to your health called viruses. One thing that I've learned in the last 3.5 years, Kate, that I had no idea about, but I love researching and getting to the bottom of stuff.
Sure.
Did you know that the word virus has never been an English term in the English language? It has been adopted, and it comes from Latin. So I want everybody to remember, I don't care what name they give it, if the word virus accompanies the name. The word virus is a Latin word that for the last 4 centuries, including in the 2000s, you look up any Latin English dictionary, it tells you that the word virus translates in unison to just one English phrase. It means a poison, comma, especially of snake's venom, or the word virus in Latin just means venom. And that is 100% of all the dictionaries. And I own 30 of them dating back 4 centuries. So just remember, when I said they're making it up, no animals are coughing these poisons or venoms unless you've met a coughing snake who has venom and they're coughing on you to make you sick. But anyway, the word virus, it's an illusion. You've been lied to. It is not something coming from animals like bats coughing on you. All viruses are man-made engineered poisons, but especially extracted from snakes' venoms.
Right. Oh, I love that you're talking about this, because what a lot of people don't realize is the early institutions of pharma, back when they were conducting all of this new sort of vaccine research and things, were half of the institutions were dedicated to venom. Right. So when you walked into a place, especially like in Germany or the different places, you were walking into a lab where where half of it was venom and the other half was so-called vaccine. And nobody puts that together, that they were working on these things with venom.
Yeah, pretty absurd, isn't it? That the idea to me is the fact that they just want to lie to you and tell you that pangolins coughed, seafood in Wuhan might have coughed and made the whole world sick and called it COVID. Since when does frozen seafood on ice cough? And somebody must have been walking around the seafood market 6 feet from the actual shrimp that was coughing, because it only went 6 feet. So usually it's all just absurd. It's just nonsense. So,
anyway. I mean, those bats never wanted to get us until about the year 2000. So what did we change in the year 2000 where the bats were suddenly very interested in coughing on us or biting us? The absurdity.
Oh, and go to HIV virus back in the 80s, right? So we were all told when we were kids, Kate, that this came from men having sex with monkeys in Africa. Okay, so this is a monkey virus. Imagine my shock that I display in my book. I show you the research. Imagine all the medical research studies I've now read since COVID, learning that the spike protein of HIV is identical to snake venom from a snake in China called the crate snake. HIV's GP120 spike protein that makes people sick and develop AIDS is actually identical to snake venom from a Chinese snake. Okay, this is my problem. You were told by Anthony Fauci in the 80s, HIV came from men having sex with monkeys in Africa. Okay, the Chinese crate snake, whose venom is on the HIV virus, does not come from Africa. That venom comes from China. So what did the monkey in Africa travel to China, have sex with a snake, come back to Africa, have sex with a human to give them a virus that now had venom of a snake in China and it came from a monkey now that only infects homosexuals and those that share drug needles? Amazing.
I can't believe we don't believe this. I mean,
the absurdity. Yeah.
the sexual activity alone. I'm in shock that we don't get on board with this. It's amazing. It's amazing that we don't poke more holes in the logic of it all, because the common sense factor alone, I don't know how they sell this to us continuously. I mean, I look at our health 100 years ago, and then I look at our health today, and we're in so much trouble today. And we don't even link that there might have been a reason, that we just take it as, well, we're just more sick. That's just how it goes. Unlucky us. 1 in 2 has cancer. What do you have to say to people about cancer?
Cancer. What do I have to say about cancer?
I'm sure
a lot to say about cancer, actually. All right. Yeah. So a couple things. Number one, the big talk about cancer in the last 5 years. Not only did we learn that bats coughing in China was dumb, that made the whole world sick and called it COVID. Not only did we realize that was dumb, then we learned there's gain of function testing that people like Dr. Anthony Fauci were lying about funding, where you're trying to make infectious diseases more deadly and spreadable. Oh my God, did you know we were spending tax dollars to do that in places like virology labs, not just in Wuhan, all over the world, including in the Ukraine? I mean,
in army labs,
military operations. Oh yeah. No, this is all military operations. All right. So we've been open to the idea that not everything that we were being told in the media was true about the spread of a virus they called COVID. All right, good. So we learned a lot of things and we're awakened to a lot of things there. One of the things that a lot of the medical profession has become awakened to is this topic of what causes cancers and what is cancer. And I have never in my life, 80% of the time when I was in practice till 2018, when I sold my second practice and retired, every patient that would come in with cancer diagnosis, 80 to 90% of them did not test for cancer. No matter what the lump was, where the tumor was, where the polyp was, it didn't matter where the cyst was. The cysts, the tumors never tested as if they were cancer. 80 to 90% of them tested as if they were parasites or parasite egg sacs that were growing in the person's body. So we would, for 20 years prior to COVID, I would put them on things like dandelion root extract, which is a plant made by God that kills these parasites. And then the cancerous tumors would just resolve and dissolve and go away within 3 months of just taking this thing. Dandelion root extract, wormwood, which everyone now thinks of ivermectin first for parasites since COVID. But wormwood does what ivermectin does, but it's not owned by a drug company. That's the big difference. All right. So wormwood is named in the Bible. It's an incredible plant God gave us, which actually cures people of parasitic infections. And then there's another substance called green walnut hull extract. Walnuts grow on trees and they'll have a green husk on it. And when it falls, it will turn black. When it's green on the tree, Kate, this is amazing. In 1995, a researcher in Canada wrote a book called How to Cure All Cancers. She cured 100 different cancers in 5 days with 3 plants: red clover, wormwood, and green walnut hull extract. She combined those and would have a person take it once a day for 5 days and cured 100% of their cancers. And you know what all 3 of those plants are only treating? Fluke parasites in the liver. And she identified in 100% of all patients diagnosed with cancer in the brain, ovaries, it didn't matter, testes, it didn't matter. They all had parasites in their liver. And if you just use these 3 herbs, you could cure them all in 5 days or less. All right, well.
What were the 3 again?
Red clover.
Red clover. Okay.
Green walnut hull extract.
Okay.
Not black, which is what most people sell now. Most people sell black walnut hull extract. That is not what works. So it has to be green walnut hull extract. All right.
Okay. And wormwood.
The third one is sweet wormwood.
Okay.
Which is what all of you guys are using instead of wormwood. You guys are all recommending around the world, medical professionals, ivermectin for parasites.
Right.
Wormwood does the exact same thing ivermectin does.
Awesome. Hey, this is good news.
All right. So that's number 1. So most people are diagnosed with cancers when they actually have parasite infections, not cancer, but they're being lied to by medical professionals called oncologists who learned in med school in America and in Canada that parasites don't exist in America and Canada. So don't even go looking for them. So that's what they were told.
You're exactly right. Most people will go, oh, you would know if you had a parasite, and you can only really get one from visiting South America.
No. Oh my God. Seriously? Okay. Yeah. Listen to this, Kate. All right. Let's just say there, parasites are the number 1 cause for all cancers in America, but they're called cancer and it's not. It's parasite infections. Okay. It is incredible. The majority of parasites that we contract in our body in America, Kate, every medical doctor in this country is taught in med school, parasites do not exist in America. This is a parasite-free country. All right. That's ridiculous, by the way. Any of you out there ever own a dog or cat? What is your veterinarian in America treating your dog or cat born in America? What do they treat it for first and always?
Constantly parasites.
Constantly. They're called heartworms. How many of you know that if you went to any veterinarian clinic in America, in their lobbies, they will have a 3-fold pamphlet called Parasites and You. That's what it's titled. And then open it. And all it does is show you a chart of all the known parasites dogs and cats get in America and which ones transfer zoonotically to another species of humans, the owners. And they show you all the ones that you get. Now, this is amazing, Kate. Do you know the CDC right now on their website has a document titled Parasites, an article? And when you click the parasite article, it tells you, the CDC does, 90 million plus Americans, the CDC says, has currently parasite infections causing chronic medical disease. And then they tell you where it comes from. They tell you it's primarily protozoa parasites. And they tell you primarily, these third of Americans who get it and get medical diseases like cancer, they say the main reason how you get these parasites is from the United States supplied tap water.
What?
Go read the article. And this is amazing. How do you have medical doctors coming out of school being educated that there's no parasites in America, but our federal health agencies like the CDC can tell you a third of Americans have current medical diseases that are caused by parasites, and you get them from your tap water that you shower in and bathe in and drink.
So the doctors themselves look at you like you're an insane, crazy person, and they belittle you. But even the CDC admits that 90 million of us have this.
Oh, the greatest medical professionals in the world are ignorant.
Wow.
Ignorant and uneducated. So any medical doctor who tells you, America or abroad, that parasites don't exist in your country, they're lying to you, and they are uneducated. Yeah. They're obviously not up to speed on anything current in medicine. You should go somewhere else. You should come to the Kate Daly Show.
Thank you.
You're going to learn more here than you would in your medical doctor's office because they don't even know. All right. So then the second most common cause of cancer second is actually venoms. Now, how would venoms actually create cancer? Well, we know they create cancer. Do you know how we know this? What? You should go read my Amazon best-selling book for a year and a half now worldwide. It's called Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies. I show you that in 1956, Kate, and audiences abroad, 1956, the National Cancer Institute in America, who was established in 1919, by the way, said they are going to receive money and fund research to cure the world of cancer. That's the only thing they do. Okay, so then 1956, they paid two scientists, Kate. They paid two scientists to see if we give you snake venom and you inject it in a bird or put it in a mammal, what does it do? The National Cancer Institute funded this research. And out of these 2-year research studies, they published there's an invisible side effect of snake venom in the presence of mammal cells. If it goes to the brain, it causes rapid tumors to form in the brain. And they called the side effect nerve growth factor, which Kate Daly and everyone around the world, if you know anybody seeing an oncologist, your oncologist will use the phrase nerve growth factor. Do you know where that came from? If you have a brain tumor like a glioblastoma, that comes from one guy and one guy only in 1956, paid by the National Cancer Institute to find out what is the cancer-causing side effect of snake venom. And he said, well, if the snake venom gets to the brain, it causes turbo cancers. They call nerve growth factor is the term. And then in 1961, they said, well, now that you can prove snake venom causes brain cancers in 72 hours or less, turbo cancer, anybody? They then told these guys and his assistant Rita, we're going to give you more money, and we want you to do it with mammals and tell us what happens when venom gets inside the human body. And they said, within 72 hours, snake venom phosphodiesterase creates massive tumor growth in any tissue in an organ, which is called epidermal tissue. Now, the phrase that came out of this invisible side effect that they didn't know existed, 1961, Dr. Stanley Cohen and Rita said, the invisible side effect of snake venom on the inside of the body of a mammal to cause rapid forming tumors called cancer. They called it epidermal growth factor, or EGF. Everybody listen to me. If you have a loved one with breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate cancer, your oncologist will use these phrases: nerve growth factor, epidermal growth factor. Those only came from describing the invisible turbo cancer causing side effects of venom in the human body or on it. So those people, Kate Daly, check this out. Hold on. We're talking about cancer here. We already talked about the parasite stuff. Lots of people are talking about that and its connection to cancer. Stay with me here. 1956, 1961, the National Cancer Institute, who said their mission statement is to eradicate cancer, paid 2 scientists to figure out how to make faster cancer to grow in the body of a human with snake venom. Then they gave these 2 scientists, Kate Dolly, after their 2 research studies in 1956 and 1961, they then gave them the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1986 for discovering epidermal growth factor as a side effect of snake venom, and nerve growth factor. Nerve tumors like glioblastomas can be formed really quick with. How does this apply right now? I already mentioned parasites before COVID. I knew was the major cause of cancer diagnosis. Kate Dolly, the venom that these 2 scientists were given in 1956 and 1961 to find out for the National Cancer Institute, who paid them to figure it out. They gave them the Nobel Prize in Medicine and money to prove snake venom phosphodiesterase, a protein found in snake venom, would cause rapid forming cancers to form in humans. Stay with me. Inside the COVID-19 vaccines, 2 scientists got the Nobel Prize in Medicine for creating them. Their name is Drew Weissman and Catalin Carrico. In October of 2023, they were given the Nobel Prize in Medicine. Do you know what they said they put in the COVID-19 vaccines that was in vaccines for the first time ever? Snake venom phosphodiesterase, which is what Dr. Stanley Cohen was given and paid to figure out in 1956 and 1961. Would this form really quick causing cancers? It's in every one of the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines research studies documents. Snake venom phosphodiesterase. And now everybody wonders, how come everybody that got these shots, why is there rapid forming turbo cancers? Hold on, stay with me. Snake venom phosphodiesterase is in those vaccines. Dr. Stanley Cohen and Rita got the Nobel Prize in Medicine for figuring out snake venom phosphodiesterase causes rapid forming turbo cancers to form in any tissue. Wow. Do you know that the mRNA technology, everybody at home, did you know the the mRNA technology in COVID-19 vaccines, there is no mRNA in any of those shots? Did you know that?
No.
And did you know the NIH has on their website right now, I show you in my book, they tell you we didn't put any mRNA in these. They tell you what they did put in there. They said we put DNA plasmids, and they show you what it looks like. And they say they put the gene sequence of the spike protein of COVID in there. And when you inject those DNA plasmids, then the cells of the human body or bacteria or fungi in the human body will start producing the spike proteins of COVID. Okay, everybody stay with me. Do you know, Kate Dolly, who invented DNA plasmids that are in the COVID-19 vaccines that are now causing rapid forming turbo cancers around?
Who?
Dr. Stanley Cohen, who was given the Nobel Prize in Medicine for figuring out snake venom can cause rapid forming turbo cancers in any tissue in a human.
What?
Okay, so stay here. Where are they using venom in the world right now? Do you know? I'm about to write a book. I want to write another book called The Venom Industrial Complex. Did you know there's 3?
That's a great name. Go ahead.
Did you know there's 3 industries right now who pay companies to replicate and manufacture snake venom to be turned into 3 different things that we all consume or use every day? Do you know this? And do you know it's $1 trillion industry every year for like 20 years now? Did you know that there's 3 main industries, snake venom, which causes cancer to form, confirmed by the National Cancer Institute, by the way, for over 60 years now. Okay, the 3 industries are these. Snake venom is being manufactured all over the world, and venom from other creatures is being manufactured and turned into drugs and vaccines. Number 2, venoms from all creatures, including snakes, is now being used in cosmetics for anti-wrinkle cream and all kinds of crap. Number 3 industry is agriculture. They're using venoms and manufacturing them into pesticides, and then Monsanto owns the largest patent library of venom-laced, genetically modified seeds for the crops we eat. They now generate and manufacture venom from any creature. I'll tell you the 5 creatures they use venom in genetically modified seeds. We thought glyphosate was bad from Monsanto. In your crops for over 20 years, I have found the list and their patents Monsanto has infused in the seeds of our crops we eat every day, watermelon, cucumbers, lettuce, stevia. I'm not joking. I can show you the patents and the documents. They now infuse in our plants that we eat fruit of snake venom, scorpion venom, spider venom, wasp venom, and bee venom inside our crops. And they say all of society for the last 20 years, for decades, has been benefiting from our use of venoms producing crops because it helps reduce pesticide requirement. Because when insects eat the plants that the leaf, the stalk, the bark, the roots, and the fruit and vegetables, when they have venom inside of them, the pests die when they eat the plant. Okay, listen. What do you think happens to you when you eat the plant?
Yeah, the state of being right now in America in 2026 and the disease that the doctors say we just don't know. We just don't know and we just don't know. Interesting.
Oh,
wow.
So what are some drugs right now that have venom as their backbone? Lisinopril, which is a high blood pressure drug. That is snake venom from a snake in Brazil, Kate, called the Jaracus viper. And since 1981, this morning, Kate, 20 million Americans woke up. First thing they did was pop a dry pill called lisinopril, which is dried snake venom, to lower their blood pressure. Guess what snake venom does in the human body? It causes cancer. So how many loved ones out there do you know were put on a high blood pressure drug called captopril or lisinopril or enalapril? They're all the same thing. They're all venom from this snake since 1981. And then how soon after was your loved one told that they now have cancer that they inherited genetically, when in fact you were swallowing snake venom and never told?
Oh my gosh.
So how about this? Did you know Ozempic and Wegovy now has a $2 billion lawsuit for causing people to wake up one morning blind from their drug permanently? That's the majority of the lawsuits, a $2 billion lawsuit. Well, what is Ozempic and Wegovy? We've covered it here on the show, I think. It is Gila monster lizard venom from a lizard in the southwestern United States desert. That's what they call Ozempic and Wegovy. And you're seeing the fallout of this drug. Okay. And then what are some other drugs? Have you ever heard of the drug Prialt? It's a pain reliever in hospitals.
No.
It comes from cone snail venom from a snail on the ocean floor. It's called Zaconotide is its generic name. Prialt is its brand name. And do you know, I want to tell you what the psychological side effect is of this drug that's published on drugs.com. Would you like to know?
Please.
If cone snail venom is injected in somebody to block their pain, called Prialt, that's a FDA-approved drug, by the way. It actually writes, the person exposed to cone snail venom in Prialt, I quote, will hold to false beliefs, even in the presence of facts.
What? Say that. You have to say that again. Oh my gosh. Please.
So cone snail venom, called conotoxin, found in venoms on the ocean floor, has been turned into a drug called Prialt. It's in every hospital in America for blocking pain. And that is listed with a side effect. A very common psychological side effect reads, when you inject this venom from this snail, it will cause a person to hold to false beliefs, even in the presence of facts. Now stay there. This is amazing. How many of you believe that a bat coughed in China and made the whole world sick? How many of you are still holding to that false belief, even in the presence of an Amazon best-selling book with 200 plus research studies showing you the DNA evidence that in 5 different countries, every COVID symptom was caused by a combined 36 different animal venoms in their blood, urine, and feces? And did you know, Kate, 15 of those 36 different animal venoms, guess what it was? Cone snail venom found in everybody. The same venom found in the drug called Prialt. Now, how many people, 100% of all COVID patients had cone snail venom inside of them? That's crazy. Found by DNA evidence, blood samples, urine samples, poop samples. 100% of them had cone snail venom. And how many people around the world were walking around going, wear a mask, please. Stand 6 feet from me. Don't hug me unless you're vaccinated. This is holding to false beliefs, even while we pummeled you with all of the
directional arrows and plexiglass, right? Directional arrows and plexiglass. Amen. Oh my gosh.
All right. And then the third thing causing most cancers is obviously endocrine disrupting chemicals.
Okay.
So Lots of chemicals. Fluoride in water can cause cancer. That's been known for years. Fluoride in toothpaste can do that too. There's just tons of chemicals. Barium can do it. Strontium can do it. Aluminum can do it. There's that's a heavy metal, but there are lots of chemicals that are known to induce cancer. So, and are carcinogenic. Oh, did you know that every cholesterol drug called statin drugs, that it is labeled and known? I want to repeat this very clearly. Did you know that every statin drug that everyone takes, Lipitor, Crestor, it doesn't matter if the word statin is in the drug. Did you know 100% of all statins are known? It's called known. Okay, they actually write it. These drugs called statins are known carcinogens. That means they know they cause cancer. Okay, well, how many millions of you are swallowing cholesterol drugs every day? And then later, guess what you were told about your cholesterol, by the way? You were told it was genetic. So take this drug. There's nothing you can do about it. And then you're going to be diagnosed within a few years with some cancer because cholesterol causes cancer. Do you know what the number one revenuing drugs in the whole world every year are for Big Pharma? Cancer drugs.
Wow. And the numbers. So many people are put on blood pressure medication. Didn't they like flub the numbers so they're super broad so that almost everybody has an issue?
Of course, the cholesterol numbers were even more insane. It used to be years ago when we were kids, the actual normal, when cholesterol was first introduced, the cholesterol drugs,
right?
Normal for most people was over 300. Well, about 10 years later, after cholesterol drugs were introduced and approved by the FDA, guess what the medical schools were told to change the ranges of cholesterol to be normal? They dropped it to 250. Well, then that allows you to sell more cholesterol drugs. And then they have now dropped it to below or right at 200 is normal. Well, almost nobody has that amount of cholesterol. So now everybody can be put on cholesterol and then eventually cholesterol drugs. Then the majority of you are going to develop cancer. You're swallowing a cancer causing chemical known to medicine to be a carcinogen.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? It's amazing.
No. Yeah,
Amazing.
I can because we're so lied to.
Oh, can I tell you something else, which I found amazing?
Yeah.
At the Dr. Ardis show.
Okay.
It's actually titled, Why Dr. Ardis is Telling You to Stop Donating Money to the Diabetes and Cancer Research Societies.
I can't wait.
Y'all should go check that out. So the American Diabetes Association was started in 1929. The American Cancer Society was founded in 1919.
Okay.
So what I did is I walked audiences through what their mission statements were from years ago, why those foundations were ever created. And the mission statements for both read, I quote, "We are going to receive donations to fund research to eradicate and cure diabetes and cancer from the earth."
Mm-hmm.
Now, just so y'all know, this is either one's almost 100 years, that's diabetes. The other one is over 100 years. They've been driving donations to pay for research to cure and eradicate diabetes and cancer. Did you guys know that in 2020, there was 500 million diabetics in the world?
Amazing.
Do you know what they've already announced? The World Health Organization said is going to be the amount of diabetics in the whole world come 2030.
Oh no, what?
It's going to be 1.3 billion.
Oh my gosh.
So the first question is this. I don't care how much money they've been given. Is their mission coming to fruition? Are they accomplishing their mission? You're about to see almost a tenth of the world's population is going to be diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
Just so y'all know, the American Diabetes Association 100% sucks at their mission.
They're really slow.
They really, really suck.
Like Bill Gates and Fauci when they got all those gazillions of dollars for an AIDS vaccine that they never produced, right? Oh my!
All right, so what I did is I actually walk all the audiences through. Kate, you're going to love this, just for new stuff here. We're talking about cancer. You asked about it. Let's go.
Gosh.
Did you know that the American Diabetes Association, which is the number one revenuing with donations, diabetes association in the world, do you know that between 2010 and 2025, I just do the last 15 years, I actually show the 990 tax IRS document where they have to disclose to the government how much donations they were given each year. I walk the whole audience through every year for the last 15 years. Do you know that the American Diabetes Association alone has been given over $5 billion in 15 years, the last 15 years?
Oh my
And all we've seen is this massive increase of diabetes year after year after year. All right. So do you need to give them any more money? No. Why would you keep giving money to a company that is not producing any results or fruit after 100 years? Okay.
Amen.
Albert Einstein said,
It's kind of like the Republican and Democrat parties. Stop giving money to the parties.
Amen.
Like, go ahead. Albert Einstein, what?
Albert Einstein said, what is it? If you keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, what's that called? Insanity.
Yeah, insanity.
All right. So stop being insane and stop giving money to this group. Now, that was $5 billion. I said, Kate, I show everybody these numbers.
Gosh.
Now, the American Cancer Society in 1919 said the same thing. We're going to drive donations and fund research to eradicate and cure the world of cancer. Do you know what they've been given, American Cancer Society, in the last 15 years? And when you go on the American Cancer Society's website, I show it on my presentation. I want to show you what they say about cancer today in 2026. It reads, there is no cure for cancer on the American Cancer Society's website. Okay, they started in 1919. 1919. It is now 2026. They're telling you 116 years later, we still don't know how to cure cancer, but keep giving us your money. Okay. The American Diabetes Association, everybody, Kate, Dolly, and crew at home, they were given $5 billion to suck the last 15 years. I add up the same time frame, the last 15 years, 990 forms to the IRS from the American Cancer Society. Would you like to know what they've been given in the last 15 years?
Please.
$25+ billion.
Wow.
And there is more cancer than ever before today than in any given year. Stop giving your damn money to these organizations that are literally just profiting. Yep. There's nothing. They're not doing anything. Seriously, Kate, from the time we were kids, we were 3 years old.
Yeah.
If we knew anybody that got cancer, we would have heard the same three things were being done to them that we're hearing today, 40-something years later. Chemo, radiation, and surgery. What the hell have they figured out with $25 billion in the last 15 years alone? Stop giving money to these associations.
It reminds me of the war. So whenever they do a war on anything, it grows. War on drugs, it grows. War on cancer, it grows. And Nixon's war on cancer, 15 years after the first polio shot or poisoning by the chemical they were spraying. So it's so fascinating to me how that works. And so whenever you see a war on something, just know we're growing it. We're not ending it. This is what this reminds me of. And we obviously have too much snail venom because we can't see what's in front of our face. I mean, it's so amazing to me that in 2026, 1 in 2 gets cancer. I'm sorry, what? 1 in 2 gets cancer, and they go, we just throw our hands up. We just don't know. You're just unlucky. It's just genetic. I'm like, really? It's just genetic. I think I'm surprised we don't ask more questions, but chemo has a 97% kill rate, and they're fine with that. Doctors are okay with that. Doesn't that shock you? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Shocks me. So stop giving your money there. Just stop doing it. They're not fulfilling their mission. Hey, let me ask you a question, Kate. Kate, if there was a problem that anybody in your audience had, and let's just say you were hired for a company, and that employer of yours said, "Hey, Kate, our customers are going to have one problem.
Okay.
And I want you, Kate, to figure out the solution for our customer's problem. And I'm going to pay you every year this big salary to figure it out." How many years of you sucking at figuring out the answer do you think you would continue to work for them before you got fired and let go?
I don't know. Do I work for the government? Forever.
If it was the American Cancer Society, it would be 110 years by now. So it would just keep paying you to not figure out the goal.
You could be the worst at what you do and get paid. That is truly amazing. So by the way, somebody asked, I think it was Coach on YouTube asked, what measurements, what dosage, that combination of those 3 ingredients, the red clover, the green walnut husk, and the sweet wormwood. How do you take that? What do you do?
You all need to buy the book that Helda Clark wrote and summarized the 100 different cancers and the cases of her curing them in 5 days. Excellent. Using those 3. And the book is called The Cure to All Cancers, and it is 1995 is the copyright date. Helda Clark is her name.
Helda Clark. You got it. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you said that. So what about dementia? Because it's happening now in everybody. Like I don't know anyone that isn't experiencing some form of dementia. What's your take?
Yeah, this is a very, very big deal. So I want to speak to this because the majority of the world we live in, Kate, is actually being run by people that we are not electing into office. So we actually go and vote. These people get into office, and they're supposed to be preserving our constitutional rights. That's numero uno. Our state constitution, our federal constitution. They're supposed to be adhering and protecting our rights and serving the people.
Right.
Unfortunately, they're not serving you. They're serving the interest of those who pay them the most once they're in office. And do you know who those interests are? They're called lobbying industries. Do you know who the number one lobbying industry in the whole world is?
I can guess.
In America.
I can guess. Pharma.
Go ahead.
Pharma.
It is the pharmaceutical industry. So the last year we have where they summarized all lobbying dollars paid to elected officials in America was 2024. We don't have the numbers for 2025 yet. But every year before 2024 and past, it was always the pharmaceutical industry was the biggest. So for perspective, all of you, we're talking about dementia. I have not lost track of that. Just know Big Pharma gave $300 million in 2024 in 365 days to our elected officials in America. No other country, no other industry reached 300 million. Follow me?
Wow.
Everybody in the world likes to talk about Israel occupying America. I just want to make this very clear. Lots of people want to say it's AIPAC running America. Hold on. Have you seen how much money AIPAC gave in the same year that Big Pharma gave 300 million in 2024? AIPAC gave 1% of that total, $3 million in total in that same year. So who is controlling America? It is Big Pharma. There is no other company paying legal bribes called lobbying dollars than Big Pharma. And this is how you know, just for perspective, when I'm about to say is very important. You just asked, what about all this dementia? I'm about to answer it, and you're going to finally go, oh my God.
Let's have it.
Here you go. Big Pharma pays your elected officials. Lobbying dollars, by definition, is a legal bribe so that elected officials and government positional people will make decisions that favor your industry. That's the legal definition of lobbying dollars. Okay, everybody. When your child is born in America, in any hospital, on America soil, what are you told you have to do to that baby within 24 hours before you let it leave? It isn't, you don't have to sign off as a parent that you're a pro-Israel. No. And that you're going to teach your child to be pro-Israel. No. They literally look at you and say, we have to inject your child with a drug product from a pharmaceutical company called the hepatitis B vaccine. And if you don't do it, we're going to shame you, guilt you, and threaten you with CPS. Okay. Got it?
Your baby's sexually active. Yes.
You cannot be born in America without being shamed, punished, or threatened to have your child taken away unless you drug it by a drug company.
You're right.
Now, once that kid leaves there, now you're told you need wellness checks, and every 6 months you're going to be told which drugs that child needs to get in order to go to public school. When you go to school, any hundreds, millions of us that went to public school, private school, doesn't matter, in America, in all 50 states, when you go there, does the school ask you, what is your allegiance religiously? No, that's not in your file. They don't care if you're Mormon, Presbyterian, Catholic, pro-Jew. It doesn't matter. You're not asked that. What's your affiliation religiously?
True.
You're not asked that and put that in the file. No, but what does every file of every student in America, pre-K, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, junior high, undergraduate, and graduate, what is in your file that you have to sign off on as a parent to get your kid in school?
Of course, it's the shots.
It is shots. Who makes the shots, Kate? What industry?
Pharma.
Pharma. So in order to get an education now, to be born in America, you're going to be shamed. You have to drug your kid. Number two, if you're going to educate your kid in America, you have to pledge your allegiance to the American education system that you drug your child and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Called vaccines. I, Bryan Ardis, am okay drugging my 5 children by Big Pharma's products. No. I've never done that and got all my kids in school without it. But this is the world you live in. Now, 2020 comes along. COVID-19 shows up. You're all mandated and locked down in every freedom and right given to you in our Constitution and the Bill of Rights in America since 1776. Kate, all of your rights and freedoms to worship, free speech were taken from you.
Yep.
For the first time in American history. And then your elected officials that you voted in went like this. Kate Dolly, Bryan Ardis. You want to go back to work? You want to go back to church? You want to travel from state to state? You have to show us your allegiance through a card that tells us you consumed one industry's product. And what industry was that?
Pharma.
Big Pharma. And what were they telling you? You had to show proof of that you were okay accepting? Big Pharma's vaccine products. Okay, so if you want to know, the elephant standing on America is Big Pharma. Every part of your life, you have to say, yes, I'm okay with drugs. Yeah, I'm okay with drugs. Yeah, I ignore Nancy Reagan. I do not say no to drugs. Just drug me. I love drugs. America loves drugs. Okay, so here we go. The question was, how come so much dementia? I'm about to tell you. You ready?
Oh, no. Yes.
Did you know that Big Pharma is the largest lobbying industry for all countries, not just America? And did you know that Big Pharma right now has 200 countries in line to ban access to all of its citizens to have access to nicotine agents and products in their countries by the year 2030 and all tobacco products? Did you know that?
No.
200 countries in the whole world. Big Pharma is telling the government officials to ban access to their citizens of over-the-counter tobacco and nicotine products. You asked about dementia. I'm about to tell you what the issue is with dementia.
Because you were the one that mentioned that Kamala, Hormala and sorry, but she did sleep her way to the top and she was proud of it. Hormala and Tim Walz, Fancy Hands, wanted to, when they were running for office, they kept saying to everybody that they wanted to make sure it was prescription only, that you had less access. And no one even questioned why they had turned their attention to that, why it was such a big deal for them on the campaign trail. So now, tell us, please.
This is the big deal. All right. So nicotine is primarily known as a main ingredient inside of tobacco plant products. Just like vitamin C is known in oranges and grapefruit to be the highest, but it's in other fruits too. Nicotine is known to be the highest in tobacco. Mm-hmm. Did you know that tobacco and nicotine has been a known cure for dementia for 500 years?
I did not know that. I know that nicotine was used by farmers a lot with their animals, but I did not know that.
Did you know that medical textbooks dating back 500 years actually date the year orthodox medicine published tobacco and nicotine to be a cure for dementia?
What?
For 500 years, dating back to 1492. And I have the books. I actually do. I actually present this to everybody. The reason why I bring this up is nicotine is not only in tobacco. Nicotine's a nutrient God put in tobacco. But tobacco's in the nightshade plant family. Guess what the second highest nicotine-containing plant is? Eggplants. Guess what the third highest is? Tomatoes. Guess what the fourth highest containing nicotine plant is? White potatoes. So every French fry, tater tot, and ketchup sample you give your kids, that's 2 doses of nicotine every day. And you didn't even know it. So nicotine is not only found in tobacco, but when I say this, why would Big Pharma tell 200 countries to ban all tobacco and nicotine agents from their citizens' access over the counter in favor of like Walz and Kamala Harris saying, we're going to make this by prescription owner? Yeah. Think about it. These are elected officials. Kate, we just talked about it. Who's the largest lobbying industry to our elected officials? Pharma. To do favors for them. Pharma. Big Pharma. Why would Tim Walz, why would Kamala go, we want to make nicotine agents just prescription only?
Random. So weird. So
weird. This is definitely not random. Okay, so this is the key. Why is dementia so big? Do you know the cells in the brain that control memory? All of them have receptors on the cells that activate your ability to remember or turn off your ability to remember. And do you know what the name of those receptor switches are to remember or not remember? They're called alpha-7 nicotine receptors.
Wow.
Now, hold on. It's not because you're not using nicotine that you actually don't remember anything. There's something they know turns off the switch when nicotine is not present. So everybody out there with dementia, you still have your memory cells. They're just not working. There is something that switches them off. Guess what they know? The whole medical facility and research scientists know are the most potent chemicals to turn off nicotine receptors to block memory recall. Do you know what they are? No. What chemicals those are? Venoms from every creature on Earth. And guess what everybody was just injected with? 5 billion humans over the last 4 years. You were injected with vaccines that are published in their documents and patents to have snake venom phosphodiesterase, which absolutely targets alpha-7 nicotine receptors. And then why people had brain fog as a side effect of COVID. Now you know why. They were venom proteins, not spike proteins. Spike proteins was like a cover for snake proteins. That's really all the term was. Yeah. So if you don't look at it on page 104 of my book, I show you the DNA analysis from 5 different countries, Kate. They took blood, urine, and feces in 5 different countries of every COVID positive patient. They found 36 different venoms, the majority of which target nicotine receptors on every part of the human body, including the heart, the kidneys, the brain, and brain fog, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. Did you know schizophrenia is now a long COVID diagnosable disease? I can show you why. You shut off the nicotine receptors. Did you know nicotine is used to reverse schizophrenia? Now you know why. They can induce schizophrenia, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's with venoms. They can reverse it with nicotine. And I just want everybody to know out there, when I said 200 countries right now are literally getting their government officials to ban nicotine agents and tobacco products from their citizens, over-the-counter access. When I say that, there's something you don't know. You might think that they are doing that because they love you. Oh, they just love you and want you to be healthy or not get lung cancer.
Love you to death. They love you to death. Yes.
They love you to death. Okay, listen, if that's what you think, why did they force you to take an unproven COVID-19 vaccine and then mandate a drug called remdesivir that was never FDA approved, safe, or effective, and super deadly? Amen. If they love you, why did they make decisions that obviously are not loving? They are not making a decision because they love you. There are 25 drug companies right now. Kate, I walk my audiences through at the Dr. Ardis Show. There are 25 drug companies, big pharma, who right now have patents to make synthetic nicotine prescription drugs that are going to be released in 2030. But they're not going to be called nicotine on the label. It'll be given some brand name like Wegovy, Ozempic, something catchy they can sell. But they are going to profit off of prescribing nicotine to you, synthetic nicotine, because they don't want you having access to the plant and over-the-counter nicotine. They want to ban it from the entire world in favor of them prescribing it to you. And if you look at the patents, everybody, Kate, every patent says that this is used to improve cognitive function and reverse mild cognitive impairment, which is called early onset dementia, and reverse Alzheimer's. That's what it's for. So if you want to know why it is so many people are having dementia right now, they have literally poisoned the whole world with what they called spike proteins that were identified by DNA labs to be snake venom peptides, little proteins that bind to nicotine receptors in the brain and every part of the body to create all your COVID symptoms. And if you look at long COVID now, which is literally written in 2024 by our government, they wrote a document called Long-Term Health Effects of COVID, called Long COVID. There's 200 medical diagnosable diseases now called Long COVID. Alzheimer's is in the list. Parkinson's is on the list. Bipolarism's on the list. Schizophrenia is on the list. Mild cognitive impairment's on the list. Memory loss, brain fog. These are all known published side effects of venoms used around the world. So you all were exposed to it. Anybody got sick? If you got the vaccines, you've got this crap injected inside of you. Nicotine's going to be your first go-to agent. It is not the only one, but that's why I wrote the book.
First of all, one question from the audience. Do nicotine patches have a shelf life? Can they last for a long, long time?
Oh, yeah. They last for a long time. They come in little sealed packages. Most of them do like 5 patches in one.
Yeah.
And they only last, though, when you put them on your skin, they're only for 24 hours and you rip it off and put on a new one. So
that's what yeah. And you're usually doing about 3 milligrams, right? You're cutting them up, 21 gram patches into like 3 a piece. wearing those every 24 hours.
Since my book came out, Kate, I've learned of a new brand called Tola Vita, and they use only natural plant extracts from tobacco and 6 other plants like star anise and orange peel oil, essential oils, and it's all in a patch. And they've now introduced a 3 milligram patch size, so you don't even have to cut it.
You're kidding.
So Tola Vita is a brand, and because they released the 3 milligram version this year because of me, because of everybody wanting a 3 milligram size, so the only company that does it. But you can get a 10% discount from them using my last name. That wasn't for me. It doesn't benefit me. They just said, we know you're the nicotine guy. We've developed a 3 milligram patch for you, but they also have 7, 14, 21, but it's all natural essential oils in the patch. And for those with latex sensitivity, nobody reacts to these. They're awesome. So that's what I've been using lately. So it's very exciting.
That is so cool. How do you spell it?
Tola Vita, Tolevita. And they're even cheaper than Rugby, the ones I promote, and Nicorette patches. Yeah, it's very good.
Okay. All right. .com/Ardis or Bryan.
Yeah, I think at checkout, you just put the word Ardis to apply a discount. I think it'll give you a 10% discount. ARDIS.
Wants a discount. So I love that. So that is amazing. Okay. And what is your fast take?
And eat your nightshade vegetables, Kate. Eat your nightshade vegetables. They have nicotine in them. Go.
Okay. Because they tell us not to. They tell us not to eat the nightshades.
Who tells you that? Watch this. Who tells you that?
The white coats. Oh,
the white coats.
Gosh.
Who taught the white coats what to say before they graduated?
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad, you guys. The training is just so bad. So Ardis and I have something in common here, Bryan. So he was the first doctor, the first person to say, hey, remdesivir, danger, do not take. And it goes by another name, Valkyrie, right? And I was the first person to put out a video saying, hey, my husband was in the hospital. So like as a person and as a doctor, we were the first 2 people to go, hey, no, don't do this. Put them on vitamin C, put huge doses of zinc, huge doses of D and C and budesonide, and get them the hell out of there, even if you have to do it on hospice. So remember that for the future. Oh my gosh, it was truly amazing. This is how I met you, was because we were those voices. It's amazing. Okay, peptides. What about peptides? Everyone's spraying them up their nose. They're getting all into peptides. Can you please talk about that for a second?
Yes. So peptides, just picture a chain, like a link chain.
Okay.
You have each link represents what's called an amino acid, and the chain itself is a protein, and proteins are made up of individual links of a chain.
Okay.
Every link is called an amino acid.
Okay.
Multiple amino acids make a protein chain. If I took that chain that had 20 links in it and I cut it into 5 links only, cut the last 5 links off, that is called a peptide.
Okay.
So anything made of protein in the whole world can be chopped down smaller to be a peptide.
Okay.
So peptides are just small pieces of protein. That's number 1. Number 2, what is everybody talking about with these peptides? Well, what made it popular? Ozempic, Wegovy, and these GLP-1 drugs.
Okay.
Well, here's your lesson. Most peptides are made from animal venom proteins, including Ozempic, Wegovy, Trulicity, Byetta, Zepbound, and Majorna. They're made from Gila monster venom peptides from their protein and their venom. That's what it is. Okay. So that's what a peptide is. But not all proteins come from venom. So there are some short pieces of peptides or pieces of protein called peptides that don't come from venom. How would you know which ones were which? If you saw the word peptide on your cosmetic, your drug, your vaccine, whatever.
Right.
You're going to have to take the name of the peptide, because they usually come with acronyms and a number. BCP 157. And you're like, what the hell is that? And then you have to copy that, paste it into Google, and ask it, what is this? And you have to do that for every peptide. And all you're looking for is it animal derived from venom? And they will tell you this comes from animal venom or not. For example, there's a shampoo and conditioner brand right now that Nicole Kidman's been the spokesperson for the last 3 years or so. It's called Vegamore. If you look at their ingredients on the back, it actually says on the ingredient deck, contains spider and wasp venom peptides. That's what it says.
It does? Really?
Oh, yeah.
Serious?
So, I promise you.
Oh my God.
I've already showed the audiences. I'll hold them up and I'll show the ingredient decks. I'm like, just so you know, it says this, but some of them don't read that clear. It's either a number, peptide, acronym, peptide, and you just have to take that, paste it, and look up what is the source of that peptide. Because not all of them come from animal venoms, but a whole lot of them do. So you just need to look at it.
Okay. And then here's a question from the audience. Please tell me what to take for high blood pressure instead of the drug you were saying starts with an L, lisinopril?
Lisinopril, captopril, enalapril. Yes.
Yeah.
So what drugs to take besides that?
Like, what do you take? What can you take that's natural? What can you do?
Holy moly. All right. So the number one way to lower blood pressure, just so everybody knows, if you're not on lisinopril, captopril, enalapril for high blood pressure, most of you are put on a diuretic to make your kidneys urinate to lower blood pressure. Did you know that Lasix and hydrochlorothiazide, which are the number one high blood pressure drugs called diuretics, do you know they're synthetic salt and that's all you're swallowing? Do you know that they already know the more salt you consume, the lower your blood pressure goes back to normal? This is why if you have a stroke or a heart attack and are taken to the hospital, do you know what the first thing is they give you without question?
Yeah.
They give you 9,000 milligrams of salt water called saline or liquid IV. IV fluids is what they call it. So when they inject that inside of you, they know that amount of salt is going to bring your blood pressure back to normal. And in the Lancet Medical Journal, I'm just going to tell you right now, the number one thing I use for people to lower their blood pressure is salt. And I tell them to consume 6,000 to 9,000 milligrams of salt every single day. Now, all of you, if you're on steroids, for example, what happens with prednisone? If you're on it, they will tell you to avoid salt. It'll make you puff up and retain water. There are drugs that make you not be able to absorb and use salt. So you just need to ask your doctor, is there a limiting factor to eating salt, or go look it up? Any contraindications to my medication with salt intake? Okay. If it's just you're on a Lasix or diuretic or enalapril, captopril, lisinopril, the majority of human beings in America have high blood pressure because you're limiting your salt intake. Did you know your kidneys have pumps to release water to lower blood pressure in your entire body? And they're called by name in the medical textbooks, sodium. They're called sodium potassium pumps. Do you know what sodium is?
You've got to be kidding me with this. Oh
sodium
my gosh.
Is salt. And then there's potassium. So they have to have salt and potassium to work. So if you limit your salt intake, guess what happens to you? You get high blood pressure, and then guess what they can sell you?
Amazing.
Okay, so in the Lancet, I just want everybody to know, there was a study conducted and published in 2016 by Tel Aviv University in Israel.
Okay.
It was 49 countries, 500,000 people, the largest 20-year study on high blood pressure. They evaluated 500,000 people for 20 years. They followed them, and all they wanted to know was, what are your heart risk factors for disease every year, and how much salt do you eat every day?
Interesting.
In 2016, Kate Dolly, they published that people in 49 countries, 500,000 people, largest high blood pressure study ever done in history. The individuals around the world who ate every day 6,000 to 9,000 milligrams of salt every day had the lowest risk factor for heart attacks and strokes and the best blood pressure readings.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this is key. I need you to watch this. Do you know what the FDA tells you is the only amount of salt you should eat every day in 24 hours, or you're going to develop high blood pressure and strokes? It's 2,200 milligrams. Tel Aviv said they learned over 20 years, it's actually 6,000 to 9,000. 3 to 4 times that amount every day is best. The American Heart Association says something different. They say the FDA is wrong with their 2,200 milligrams. The American Heart Association says it should be half of that amount, 1,100 milligrams. So Tel Aviv published in the Lancet, the British Medical Journal, 2016, go look at the study, that the more salt you eat, the better your blood pressure becomes worldwide. Guess who sued the Lancet and told them to take that study down, or we're no longer going to give you any more money? It's on the website. It's on the top of the article if you go look at it. It was the American Heart Association. They sued the Lancet. And you know what one of the American Heart Association's mission statement is?
What?
To fund research to eradicate heart disease from the world. And they got pissed that they published the truth about salt. Now, this is true. I want everybody to know this. Did you know that the FDA in America writes the contracts for all hospitals to purchase bags of salt water in their hospitals every year? Every 2 years, the FDA writes the amount, the only amount every hospital in America can pay saline water, salt water bags to come into their hospital. And do you know what the contract amount is per bag for every hospital in America? $2.50. Do you know what the average billed insurance charge for a child to be given one bag of salt water in a hospital? Do you know what they charge your insurance on average nationwide?
What?
$383 a bag.
Oh my God.
Do you know what adults are charged by United Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, you name it? Do you know what they're charged for adults that receive the same bag of salt? Not $830 a bag.
Amazing.
So now you know why the whole industry tells you to not consume salt. The salt's bad for you. But when you have a heart attack and they use an AED device to turn you on before you get to the hospital evaluated by a cardiologist or an ER doc, the EMTs are going to insert a needle into your left arm or right arm, and they're going to pump you full of 9,000 milligrams of salt before you get to the hospital. And if your blood pressure's at stroke level, they give you 2 of those, and they call it a push. They take the check valve out of the tube and dump 18,000 milligrams of salt inside your veins, and immediately you watch your blood pressure come back down to normal. I'm sorry, you've been lied to.
I don't even have words. What kind of salt? Celtic, Himalayan? What do you recommend? What's the best delivery?
What do you think the hospitals are giving you? Crap, and it still works. So Himalayan salt is better. There's many salts around the world that are better. Celtic salt, sea salt, Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt. That's what I prefer. There's even, I don't know if you know this, I actually get Korean salt in our home.
Really?
And they actually take it from the ocean, and then they literally fire it in bamboo stalks to 1,500 degrees, 2,000 degrees, and these salts turn purple, white, but it's like the most pure on earth, and it's a company called Pior, Pior. That's what I use. And I don't have any affiliation with them. I just love their stuff. It's amazing.
No way. Okay.
Yes,
all right. All right. So I just can't even tell you how much I appreciate you doing this. And
Was that fun?
Yes, I just can't, you can't wrap your brain around this, because if you go back and you really research, like I said in the beginning of the show, you find that they had venoms in the labs when they were designing the first effects of pharma. So there is such a correlation and a history here of what you're talking about. This isn't crazy talk, and everyone's tried to diminish you. This is kind of diminish what you're saying about venom, which is really crazy, because 1999, the Time cover had the insignia with the snake. It was telling us the future of medicine, and people still can't clue in. I mean, it's amazing how many times they've told us, but not told us, and we still don't understand, right?
Oh, you know what's even more amazing? The cone snail venoms we talked about a while ago, just a little bit ago in this interview.
Looking in, yeah.
Did you know that in 2012, you can go look it up right now. All of you out there are like, this guy's nuts. A bat coughed in China, man. I believe the news.
Yeah,
okay, listen. In 2012, go look it up right now. I challenge anybody. You know what's amazing, Kate? You tell people to go look something up. Do you know what? They would rather be ignorant than actually know the truth.
Amen.
It's really ridiculous. All right. Go look up, not Dr. Ardis's website, no tinfoil hat website. It's not Alex Jones's website, not Kate Dolly's website. Listen. Go to the United States Department of Justice's website. Okay. Go Google, search, type in U.S. Department of Justice.
Okay.
And then type these words: conotoxins, potential weapons from the sea. And look at their 2012 published article. They write, there is so much cone snail venom being manufactured around the world called conotoxins. We're worried that terrorists could use it and aerosolize it around the world to create respiratory arrest and death in humans. And they tell you in the article, this is 2012, and they write, it'll cause respiratory arrest, and we're worried about 3 specific forms of conotoxins that are being made and are more deadly than any other. Can I tell you what their names are?
Okay.
They tell you. They give you the Greek alphabet lingo. Alpha conotoxin. And now I'd like to ask you, what was the very first variant of COVID called? Alpha.
You're right.
Then they go to number 2. They say the second most likely to be used by terrorists around the world to make the whole world sick. Seriously, respiratory arrest, aka COVID, anybody? They said if they do this with cone snail venom, it will be either alpha conotoxins, alpha variant, or kappa variant. And then they say this, or the most deadly one is called O-conotoxin. Do you know what O in the Greek alphabet stands for? I had to go look this up because I was like, what is O?
Oh my gosh. What?
Now, everybody thinks it's omega. No, omega looks like a horseshoe in the Greek alphabet.
Okay.
Omega is not an O. The designation Greek form of conotoxins designated O conotoxins. Do you know what O in the Greek alphabet is?
No.
Omicron. Do you remember the most deadly form and longest lasting form of COVID was?
For a month? Yes.
The Omicron variant. Okay, so this isn't me telling you. Now, if you go from 2012, the United States Department of Justice is saying there's so much of this venom being made around the world from these snails in the ocean that if anybody uses it as an aerosolized weapon, it's going to create respiratory arrest and disease around the world. The United States Department of Justice was worried about this in 2012. Do you know what happened 3 years later? The World Economic Forum on September 11, 2015 decides to publish their own article that's still sitting there. The title of the World Economic Forum's website reads, September 11, 2015, How Killer Snails Can Help Us Improve the State of the World. And it's all about cone snail venom from these snails in the ocean. And what did the World Economic Forum, everybody in COVID and the truther movement know about? That the World Economic Forum is trying to depopulate the planet and reduce the population. Oh my God. The title reads, How Killer Snails
I don't
Can
even
Improve
have
the State of the
words.
World. Not healthy snails, how killer snails can help us improve the state of the world. And the whole thing's about conotoxin venom. Oh, the same venom, by the way, found in every COVID-19 patient that people want to dismiss is real from the DNA evidence that Dr. Ardis keeps showing you and publishing. It's amazing. Ignorance, everybody out there, is not always bliss. And you might want to tell your medical doctors to bring their heads out of their asses because they're ignoring the science, or they have cone snail venom. And I say it all the time. I guess everybody that still believes a bat coughed in China and made the whole world sick. I guess they have cone snail venom that makes them hold to false beliefs, even in the presence of DNA evidence. It's amazing.
I don't even have words. There's about 500 doctors, I think, in America that you could actually listen to and trust at this point. I don't trust anyone in that whole that whole thing.
I do applaud those. I do applaud those. There are many who have actually taken the time to read my book, to read the research, and they understand it all now fully too. And I'm very grateful for our work. And that is really humbling to watch. It's pretty
Two more quick things. The shots themselves, all the shots. I remember having Judy on and we were talking about how all the shots seem to have all the same ingredients. So people are taking a shot for pneumonia, a shot for COVID, a shot, blovid is what I call it, a blows. It's such fakery, but we called it fakery from day one. But so all the shots, are they all the same in your estimation? I mean, are you taking all the same kinds of ingredients?
Well, some of them overlap most of them. So most of them have formaldehyde in them, which is a known carcinogen, by the way. Most of them have polysorbate 80, which is a known blood-brain barrier, like literal Swiss cheese maker. It punches holes in your blood-brain barrier so that poisons can get to the brain, parasites can get to the brain, you name it. But I will give you a few that make them very different. Did you know, like the hepatitis B vaccines have Chinese hamster ovary cells as the first ingredient in there?
What?
Did you know there's a flu vaccine that the first ingredient is Cocker Spaniel dog kidney cells as the first ingredient?
No.
Did you know that?
Oh, no.
Did you know that there are multiple vaccines on the CDC schedule for kids and adults that the first ingredient is MRC-5? That's what it reads. And do you know what that ingredient is?
No.
I quote, these are human diploid cells that come from the lungs of a baby murdered in 1966, a young boy at 14 weeks old.
That's right.
That's the first ingredient in many of the vaccines, including some of the flu shots. So no, they're not all the same, but a lot of them overlap. And then disgustingly, a lot of them have neomycin, kanamycin, or polymyxin B, which are antibiotics. Now, all of the ones I'm about to tell you are actually for viruses, and antibiotics don't treat viruses. So why would there be 3 antibiotics found in a viral vaccine? My problem with this is if you look up neomycin and kanamycin and go Google it, what are serious side effects of neomycin, Neomycin, kanamycin, Kanamycin, or polymyxin B, Polymyxin B? Type that in Google. What are the serious side effects of any of these 3? I quote, respiratory arrest and death occurs from neomycin and kanamycin injected into people. Oh, SIDS, anybody?
Oh my gosh. Oh my
by the way,
God.
anybody out there don't think vaccines kill kids and cribs when they're sleeping?
They don't even.
98% of every SIDS baby found dead in their crib at night was within 48 hours of a childhood scheduled vaccine.
Yeah. In fact, there isn't a child that wasn't vaccinated that's died of SIDS, to my knowledge.
Oh, and I want to say this to everybody here. This is not coming from me. I'm just quoting someone that works in the Pentagon for 40 years now. Kate walked up to me at an event in Michigan called Eyes Wide Open last year.
Uh-huh.
Walked me off the stage to meet with me privately in the back. He was a gentleman probably in his 70s. And he goes, I just need to say something to you. It's the first time I've ever seen you or been in an event where you are. I want to applaud you for being so bold and brave to make the world aware that snake venom was in the COVID-19 vaccines.
Oh my God.
And I said, you're very welcome. Now, Judy Mikovits was there with me too, but this was a private conversation in the back. And he said to me, I need to say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. He goes, I have been a part of secret meetings in the Pentagon for 40 years. For 40 years, our Pentagon has known that snake venom is in all the childhood and adult vaccines in America. Great job blowing the lid on a secret agenda. But this is why it appears permanent illnesses occur: juvenile diabetes, juvenile arthritis, autism. Why it is you can get lingering effects when you introduce venom of any kind, including peptides, into the human body. I quote, medical research knows even if you treat the person with antivenom to preserve their life, it doesn't get rid of the venom in their body, and it keeps circulating in their body, causing chronic illness and diseases for the next 12.7 years on average. This is why you get long COVID, people. Wake up, people. Okay, listen. You've never, ever, 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 ever heard of long flu, have you, Kate?
No.
Have you ever heard of long common cold?
Nope.
No, never. Do you want to know why you only hear it? There's only one reason why you hear it now. It was venom they used, and the human body doesn't degrade it. And you were right about the vaccines. If you want to know where I believe all of the vaccines having snake venom in them came from, I believe it started with Albert Calmet in the 1880s, who was paid by Louis Pasteur in France to go to Saigon, and he lived in a lab for 10 years with two agendas. You are to produce the first rabies virus vaccine and the first, what was the other one? Starts with an S. Anyway, smallpox vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
So do you know what he was given at the lab to produce these two vaccines for the first time ever? 10 king cobras to produce the vaccines for rabies and smallpox.
Yeah.
And Albert Calmet, during those 10 years, is now called the father of antivenom therapy and the father of rabies and smallpox vaccines. Really? In the same lab for the same 10 years. Let's go a little bit forward. That's in the 1880s. Then you fast forward to Abraham Flexner, who wrote the Abraham Flexner Report in 1910.
Simon?
To rewrite all medical curriculum in Canada and America. Do you know who his brother is? His name is Simon Flexner.
Yeah.
Did you know Simon went to the Johns Hopkins University Med School, became a medical doctor, paid for by the Rockefellers and Abraham Flexner. And do you know what he was paid to research at Johns Hopkins as a student?
Yeah.
In a lab.
Yeah.
Only one thing. In 1905, 5 years before the Flexner Report comes out.
Yes, I
the
do.
blood clotting effects in humans of snake venom.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I did not know about the snake venom thing because he was the one that said virus is invisible. You can't see it. And we're going to put a bunch of monkey brains and we're going to do all this bacteria. And we actually have to use bacteria to see the virus. So the virus itself invisible. But once you add bacteria, now it's a thing, but we're still going to call it virus. That was the same dude.
Oh, and now just look at every symbol of mainstream medicine around the world. Look at ambulances, hospitals, the American Medical Association's logo. Everything is symbols. What is the symbol of modern day medicine?
The snake.
The snake, the serpent.
Yeah. It's truly amazing. Okay, two more short questions because you're too amazing. Number one, what do you do for flu? Number two, what do you personally take every day to kind of maintain?
Very good. Okay, so number one, for the flu, I just want y'all to know, people ask me all around the world, how long am I going to wear a nicotine patch for?
Yeah.
And I tell them, I will be buried in one. How long are you going to wear one for? And they go, why? And I say, because I've looked up every virus known to science, and they publish all of them that they target and infect cells by entering through the nicotine receptors. So guess what I'm going to wear every day the rest of my life? Guess why Big Pharma wants 200 countries to get rid of nicotine products?
Yeah.
It stands in the way of their venom/virus narrative. Okay?
Yep.
Remember, the word virus means snake venom or poison from venom. Okay, that's all it is. All right, there we go. So that's what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And they're profiting off you. It's called the Hegelian dialect. Create the problem, sell you the solution. This is what they're doing. But they don't want you getting the solution at CVS and Walgreens over the counter without a prescription.
Yeah, or naturally with every herb given on earth from God. So, yes.
So I wear a nicotine patch for the flu. I recommend 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C for the flu, 1,000 preventative, 5,000 when you're sick.
Okay.
And then vitamin D K2. I have a vitamin D3 K2 product. It is 2 doses a day. That's 10,000 international units. I recommend that every single day. And everybody on earth, I believe, should be on selenium at 200 micrograms every single day.
Oh, yeah.
That's what your bone marrow needs to produce white blood cells to fight every disease on earth. So that's the flu.
Okay. All right.
And then the next question, which was, what do I do every day?
Maintaining daily. Yeah. What do you do daily?
What do I do every day? All right. So number one, I wear my nicotine patch every day. Right now I'm wearing a 7 milligram nicotine patch from Tola Vita every day. And I will until I find something better or create something myself, which I'm not interested in. And that's number one. So nicotine I do every single day. I put that on. Then I take 1,400 milligrams of apple pectin powder every day. Why? Because it reverses radiation poisoning and detoxes chemicals out of the body.
Ooh,
Proven to be the only thing effective against those exposed to Chernobyl's radiation and Fukushima. Apple pectin was the only thing that worked to detoxify everybody from developing cancer from the radiation. So I take apple pectin every single day, and I have it at my website, organic apple pectin. So I take that every single day. I'm 49 years old, so I take a formula of herbs and minerals I created 9 years ago when I turned 40 called Prostate Pro to keep my prostate healthy, and I don't ever want to have a problem, and I don't, so it's great. And I'll take that forever. And then I also take selenium, but I take 400 micrograms a day, which is 2 capsules. And then I also take my bioactive copper, and we can do a whole show on copper.
Oh, I have. Believe me, copper is huge, 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 huge. It's the orchestra leader of all the other minerals. So, oh my gosh. And so selenium you're taking, and I love that. Apple pectin, I love that. Hadn't heard that one yet. And so I love that. Okay. And so this is the stuff you're doing daily. And people can go to your site. Please give your site out again, because you also have like a monthly thing that people can join as well, too.
I do. Yeah. I do a monthly Q&A with my audiences. So I have what's called the Ardis Club Experience. It's called ACE members, Ardis Club Experience. So once a month, it's like the second Tuesday of every month, I will spend an hour answering personal questions of my members. And if I can't get through them in that hour, they submit them all. And then I answer all of them within a week or two of that broadcast. But yeah, you can go to thedrardisshow.com. You can sign up for the Ardis Club membership if you want to do that. And then each of the products I just mentioned are at my website. And then people might go, well, does he take zinc? Zinc's in the Prostate Pro at the exact amount I want. So I already take it. So there are things I do every single day, and these are just some of those things. Then I make sure I eat right, and I drink only distilled water every day. And oh my goodness.
What?
Oh, just so y'all know, you might want to check out the Hydrate product I just released. It's been a 7-year project. And
really?
I want to look at the product page there, but it's a very, very exciting thing. It's only been out a month, but it's at the Dr. Ardis Show. Yeah. Every drop of sweat, I don't care what you're doing, or if you're on diuretics that make you dehydrated, any cause of dehydration, sweating, medications, it doesn't matter. You lose 40 minerals, vitamins, amino acids, and betaine anhydrous in every drop of sweat or every release of anything causing dehydration. And you have to put all those back in order to maintain adequate health. And now there's only one product on the entire world that has the adequate doses of all 40 minerals, amino acids, vitamins, and betaine anhydrous in one formula. And that is our all natural flavored, sweetened Hydrate Complete at the Dr. Ardis Show.
Love this. I love this. This is great. This is great. Thank you so much. I'll have to have you on for round 2, because we went way over what we were supposed to. I just love you to death. Thank you so much, Dr. Ardis, for coming on again.
Oh, we love you, Kate. You've been a reasoning board for all of us when chaos was abounding throughout the world. Holy cow. Thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you. And that's it for today's show. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. By the way, be faithful, be fearless, as I always say, and you can find out why. Go to my website, support my sponsors, keep me on the air to interview people like Dr. Bryan Ardis. That would be great if you go to katedalleyradio.com, and soon I'll be putting up a link that actually will go to his website. So just make sure you're aware of that too, and order that because he's doing a fantastic job letting people know what's going on. Bye. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. See you later.